What up, peeps, and welcome to a awesome video. So Abby and I just flew to Florida. We bought one of my best friend Sam's collections and drove it back. We did a cross-country road trip, stopped at a bunch of places. If you want to see the videos we made about buying his collection and the road trip back, those are going to be found on the Double Jump Video Games YouTube channel, so please check those out. But for this video, we're doing something that most people don't get the option to ever do. I am going to be upgrading a huge portion, if not most, of my Nintendo 64 collection, because in my friend Sam's collection, he was about 30 games away from the full Complete in Box North American library. I have the full set here, but as you guys can probably guess, not everything is in excellent condition. So he was very picky on condition, so I'm assuming a lot of the games that I just got from him are going to be in better condition than these. He also might have games that include registration cards or posters that mine are missing. And of course, he's going to have some precautions booklets and baggies as well, which I am hoping to complete as much of my set as I can. So this is going to be filmed over multiple days. His collection was in about 3 or 4 of these giant plastic totes, and I was only able to fit one in my car to bring home last night. So I'm going to go through that one today, see what I can upgrade, film some stuff for you guys, and then I'll do the same thing over the next few days with the rest of his stuff. So this is going to be pretty crazy. I'm excited. It's going to be a lot of tedious work of opening all these boxes and checking, comparing, and then updating my spreadsheet to reflect the new condition. But it's going to be worth it, and I'm super, super excited. I've mentioned this before, but as you can see, some of the games are sticking out a couple inches off the shelf. Those ones do not have the plastic baggies that go over the cartridges. So, and some of those that are sticking out also don't have precautions booklets, but I'm pretty sure I have enough precautions booklets to complete what's here. But all the ones sticking out do not have baggies. So I don't think I'm going to be able to fully complete them from his set, but we'll see what we can do. I know that there's going to at least be some. And so the ones that are pushed in like this do have baggies. They are fully complete. So hopefully we can do that to a bunch of the collection once we are finished. So this is going to be very tedious and a long process. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's see what we can upgrade the condition of. One thing that I forgot to mention, which I just realized after opening this tub here, is that he also had a lot of gray cart variants and a lot of not for resale cartridges. And luckily enough, we each had close to about half of the full not for resale set. So he happened to have a bunch of them that I did not have. So not only are we upgrading some condition, but I'm also adding some new stuff to the collection, which is going to be really, really awesome. Including this one in particular. This is the Turok Rage Wars Gray Cart variant. So if you guys don't know, this game, the original game, comes in a black cartridge, and there is a bug in the game that I believe prevents you from beating it. So back in the day, if you owned this, you could send it into a claim. They would replace it with one of these gray ones, which has the bug fixed. These are incredibly rare. They go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This is one of the, I think, the rarest gray cart variant that's not a demo or a not for resale cartridge like these are. So this is definitely one to be on the lookout for. I did not have this in my collection, so this is an awesome addition. So I forgot there was something else really, really rare in here that I did not own, and that is the gray not for resale rating pending Donkey Kong 64. So this is a demo. The not for resale cartridges, just in case you guys don't know, are the games that used to be in the kiosks that you would see at stores back in the day so you could test out the games. Most of them are the regular game. Most of them are the full game, and there are a couple exceptions. This is one of them. So this is actually a demo. This is not the full game. As you can see, the rating is rating pending, and Donkey Kong 64 normally comes in a yellow cartridge like this. This one just so happens to also be a not for resale demo, but this is one of the ones that doesn't say it on the front. I don't have that one either, but this one is incredibly rare. There's also a gray Majora's Mask demo, which is super rare, And then there's the Yoshi Story International version, which I think is another demo. That one's also super, super rare, but I'm very, very happy to have this. I was with Sam when he bought this at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and I think he only paid like 450 bucks. It was something really cheap. This game definitely goes for over $1,000 now, so this is another awesome addition to my personal collection. With the exception of a few of the games sitting on top, it looks like a lot of these are starting at the end of the alphabet, which is a good thing because those are most of the games that I do have like fully complete, so they're all pushed in. So these ones will be the easiest ones to go through. And I believe that most of his collection was alphabetized on the shelf, so they should be in the bins as well. I just so happened to grab this one first to bring home. So what do you say we get started? Ooh, that's a rare one. So looking at Mega Man 64 here, I did not think this was going to be an upgrade. This is my original copy. It's got the plastic on it. It's just cut open at the end. If you guys have been watching my videos for a while, you know that I love finding games like that because it really protects the edges and the corners. However, this box is crushed on the bottom. And the box that I got from Sam, except for that little ding on the corner, is like perfect. So this is a situation that calls for my patent pending plastic transfer surgery. This is when I take the plastic off of a box that is in worse condition and I put the plastic onto a box that is in better condition. Typically, I like to do this when it's the same exact game, like in this case. There have been a few cases before where I get a game like Star Wars Episode 1 Racer with the plastic on it, but my copy already has the plastic on it. So I will take that plastic and put it onto a different game, but usually in those cases, I try to make it related, so I put it onto a different Star Wars game, if that makes sense. So this one is a great candidate for a plastic transfer, so let's do this. And there we go. The plastic is now on the other box. This plastic is actually kind of dirty, so I will need to kind of clean it up. Another thing that was kind of cool is that when it was on this box, it was opened on the left side, which is not the way that 64 games are typically opened. This one happens to have this sort of insert that comes out, but if you have the built-in inserts, they only open from the right side. So I like to have them all that way, so I flipped the plastic, which doesn't really make a difference, but now it opens on the correct side for me. So it will need to be cleaned up, like I said, but that is a very, very nice upgrade. So I'm realizing this is actually going to take me a very, very long time. I'm only a handful of games in, and I've already been out here for about an hour, getting everything set up and doing all that. So I think what I'm going to do is use my spreadsheet, which is how I keep track of my collection, condition, what I have, all that. I'm going to use that first to go through, because if something says that it's in excellent condition and I look at Sam's and I'm like, okay, the box is crushed, I don't need to physically compare them, and that's going to save me a lot of time. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'm just going to compare what I need to physically, and then I'll show you guys all the things that we upgrade once I'm finished with the entire tub. All right, so after some time, don't know exactly how long, these are the ones here that I do not need to check. So that cut down a lot of time. These 3 stacks are the ones I do need to check. Those are the ones I already did. And then here are a bunch of posters, registration cards, different things that I'm going to check and see if I need these. If I need them, I'll put them in. If I don't need them, they'll go back into these. There were some registration cards that I already put away because they were not game specific. Like this one says Resident Evil 2. So I know that that's a Resident Evil 2 one, but some of them were just like a claim. So the ones that I couldn't just leave here in a pile and do later, I actually have already done. So I did add 2 or 3 registration cards to the boxes I already had. These are the precautions booklets here that came out of these. So my plan is to use these to fill whatever I can, and then if there's any extra, I'll put them back. I also got a bunch of baggies here, which obviously, as I explained, I'm trying to get baggies for everything. That's not a ton. It looks like a decent stack, but that's probably only like 10 or 12. But that's a good amount for the first tub. So I'm going to compare all these, and then once I'm done for today, done with this first tub, we will take a look at all the stuff that I was able to upgrade. All right, so I'm just about finished for today. It is going on, it's about a little after 3 p.m. I think I started this at like 11. So it's taken me many, many hours. This took way longer than I expected. And this is only the first tub, but these ones here are ones that I was able to add registration cards to, posters to, something along those lines. So this wasn't a condition upgrade at all. I was just adding inserts to it. These ones here, I was able to actually upgrade the condition, and that is the condition of the box. If I was only upgrading the manual, I think I just pulled those off the shelf and just did them already. So these had like box upgrades. Some of them very significant, some of them not so much, but still really, really awesome. A couple of these also, my copy didn't have the plastic on it, but then the one from Sam's collection did. So like Scooby-Doo has the plastic, Turok Seeds of Evil has the plastic. But then there were a couple of them where mine had the plastic and so did his, beyond the first one that I showed you guys. So I was actually able to do a plastic transfer from, there was 2 copies of Superman 64, both with the plastic. Now my Tom and Jerry Fists of Fury has, or Fists of Furry has the plastic on it. So I went through my list and I looked for the boxes that were in the best condition, and according to the way that I track everything in my spreadsheet, you guys can see right here, these are my condition notes. So I get very detailed, but then you'll see one that says excellent condition overall. So those are the ones that basically don't have any wear. That was the case for Tom and Jerry. So that's why I chose that to put the plastic on, but now it is awesome. So very happy to upgrade condition on all of these. That is incredible. And like I said, this has only been 1 out of 3 or 4. So this video should not be anywhere near over just yet, but I did bring a little stack of games separately, and that is this stack here. These ones were Sam's, these ones were mine. So Bomberman Second Attack, Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut, Gauntlet Legends with the metal figure, and Super Bowling. So I can already tell my Super Bowling is better. This has a sticker on there. It's got a sticker on the back. Mine has the plastic on it, which I do believe I did transfer onto it from a different game, but still, it was in really nice condition. So that one's probably not going to be an upgrade. I'll check the inserts, of course, but let me go through these other ones and see if there's anything else here that I can upgrade. We're going to start with Super Bowling. So as we can already tell, my original box is better. The cartridges, that one looks pretty good. That one also looks pretty good. I don't think there's a need to change that at all. Here's my original instruction manual though, and you can see the top is kind of creased, and then the bottom as well. His is in a baggie here, but you can tell that it's not creased like that. So the manual, well, there's a crease on the back right there, but the manual I think is a condition upgrade. There's a little crease right there too, but mine's worse. So manual is an upgrade. And unfortunately, that's where it stops because he didn't have any of the rest of the stuff in here. These ones don't really matter. It's the UFO interactive registration card which, you know, people are going to want that if they want it, you know, fully complete like I do, because I'm a crazy collector. So, so this one, we are upgrading the manual, but that's good enough for me. Next up is the Gauntlet Legends Metal Warrior figurine bundle. Just a quick note about this one. This Nintendo 64 special edition version of this game, whatever you want to call it, only came with a warrior figure. There are metal figures out there for different characters from Gauntlet, but the Nintendo 64 version only came with the warrior. The other ones were some sort of like pre-order bonus or something for the Dreamcast version of the game. So if you ever see one that has a different character, that's not the original figure that came with the N64 one. This has been looked at and confirmed over the years by many people, particularly the N64 Forever forum I used to post on a long time ago. Every single factory sealed copy of this that has ever been found only had that warrior figure. So that's not 100%, but I think there's some other information about it back in the day, like some magazine insert or something that talked about having the warrior figure, but I'm like 99% sure that the other ones did not come with it. So my box here has a little bit of a crease right there on the top, which is not too bad. Other than that, there's this crease on the front coming from the corner of that little window, but other than that, it's really not too bad. Sam's box has this crease, and it's got a little dent right there. But other than that, it's not bad either. I think I'm going to go ahead and keep my original box. The figures look like they're pretty much the same. My insert has a little bit of scuffing there, but so does his. I'm going to keep my insert, I guess. It's not really a big deal. Cart is pretty good. It's got that little dot right there. His is super clean, so I'll just swap those. And then he only has the instruction manual for his. He didn't have the other stuff here, so a little bit of a crease at the top there. Pretty good. A little bit of that. Honestly, they're pretty similar. I'm just going to go ahead and keep mine together. Next is Bomberman 64, the second attack. Let's look at my box first. Front is pretty good. It's got that little crease indent right there. Tiny little crease right there. Bottom has a crease all the way across. Back has that crease. His box has a couple little ones on the front here towards the edge. Top looks good. That side looks pretty good, although there's a little indent there. Bottom has some, I call those surface scratches. They're like little indents, but they don't actually break the artwork. I think his box is going to be better because of the giant crease on the bottom of mine. So we're gonna swap boxes, keeping mine on the left. Cartridges both have baggies, which is cool. Mine, let's take it out of the baggie. Mine's looking pretty good. It's got a little dirt in the bottom that could be cleaned off. His got a surface scratch up there. I'm gonna go ahead and keep mine. And then, as you can see, he actually has the precautions booklet, or not the precautions booklet, the registration card that is specific to this game that mine did not have. So I'm definitely taking that. And I think just by glance, we can see that my manual is better because his has this big crease here. So pretty awesome, swapping boxes and adding a registration card to my copy. And here we have the big daddy of the N64 collection. This is complete in box Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. It's really crazy to have two complete copies at the same time because this game is incredibly rare. At least, you know, complete in box. The manual is actually the rarest piece of this, and I believe the price has come down a little bit, but there was a confirmed sold listing for a complete copy at $14,000, which is crazy. I think there have been some at about half that price more recently, but I mean, either way, this game is just incredibly hard to find with the box and manual, and it's hard to find in good shape as well because this was a Blockbuster exclusive. And So what that usually means is that the cartridges have that Blockbuster sticker that goes over the label and across the top and onto the back. Neither of these have that, which is crazy. So let's compare. This is my copy here on the left. His was on the right. Front of the box is pretty dang good. It's got a little bit of like worn area right there. Top looks pretty good. It's a little bit creased right there, not too bad. Bottom looks pretty good as well, just a couple little spots that are worn on the corners. That side looks decent. There is a crease, probably from being opened. That side looks pretty good. The back has the Blockbuster sticker, but it has mostly been removed. I could probably get that off fairly easily, I just haven't tried. Here's his box. There's a crease down the front right there, and that surface scratch. Kind of crease on the top. I can already tell this is not going to be an upgrade. So this one has that crease on the bottom, but then there's also a cut in the box, which usually is from somebody opening it when it was factory sealed. So that kind of sucks. And then of course it has the Blockbuster sticker as well. So I'm keeping my box. Let's look at the cartridges. Mine looks basically perfect. I don't think I would even need to upgrade it, because how is this going to be any better? I mean, they're both basically perfect. This one has a couple like surface scratches, so I'll just be keeping my cartridge as well. And then as you can see, we both have all the inserts, and I already know that my manual is not as bad. It's got a little bit of a crease down there, a little bit right there, but his has a giant piece of tape on the front that cannot be removed, and a rip right there where there used to be a sticker, as you can tell, and then crease on the back. So looks like I'm not upgrading anything on Sculptor's Cut, but both copies here, you know, aside from the tape and the little rip on the manual, both of these copies are pretty nice. A lot nicer than a lot of the other complete copies that are out there. So if by chance this video comes out before we put in his collection into our inventory and start selling it, this will be available on our website and in our physical store. It's doublejumpvideogames.com. Also, all of this and the rest of the collection that we bought from him. But that is pretty much it for the first section of this video. I have no idea how long it's going to be. The other ones probably will not be this long, because we don't have all this crazy special stuff in the next parts. But on to the next bin. So it is a week later now, guys. This actually took me a lot longer than I expected, but I finally got through the rest of the stuff from Sam's collection, comparing it to mine. These are the other games that I was able to upgrade condition on. Well, I should say this is most of them. Because these are the ones I upgraded condition of boxes on. There were some other games in the collection that I just upgraded the manual, or just a cartridge, or I added maybe a poster or a registration card or a baggie, something like that. I was able to add a lot of that kind of stuff to those, and I didn't separate them. These are just the ones that I had upgraded the boxes of. And I'm pretty sure last time I filmed, which was a week ago, so, you know, a couple seconds for you guys, but a little difficult for me to remember. I'm pretty sure that I showed you all the boxes I had upgraded at that point as well. And that was from one tub, which is that tub that's still sitting there. But he had two other tubs that were full just like this of N64, and these are the condition upgrades I got out of those. So I did want to also mention that there were more games that had plastic on them. I think I only did one more plastic transfer, and I put it onto this copy of Mischief Makers, which is one of my favorite N64 games. But it came off of a box that was badly crushed, so I didn't feel as bad about swapping that plastic. And then there were a couple additions to the collection as well. So NFL Blitz Special Edition here. This was my previous copy. I only had a factory sealed graded copy, and I'm actually getting rid of all my sealed ones, so I was very happy to replace it with that. These are the other factory sealed games I had that I was able to replace from either I already had a duplicate, or I got a complete copy from Sam's collection, and now these are extra sealed ones, which I'm going to be getting rid of. But in addition to that, I was also able to add Fighting Force 64 to the collection. I'm going to show you really quick why that is an addition and why it's a little bit different. And you kind of have to see them side by side, but You guys see the difference? This is the one that I already had. This is a variant that comes with a little sheet of tattoos. They are in here. Sam actually had both versions as well, so I was able to, I think, upgrade the manual or something in one of them, but I did not have the regular version, so that was pretty cool. And then he also had this Monaco Grand Prix, which has this sticker. That sticker right there is on the actual plastic, which is still there, but that sticker and that sticker are on the box underneath the plastic, and it comes with a phone card, which is still in here. So this is a variant that I did not have. I actually didn't even know that this variant existed, so shout out to Sam for having that and allowing me to add a variant to the collection as well. So lots of stuff got upgraded, which is super cool, and I'm super happy. So this is pretty crazy, right? This is not the typical thing that somebody gets to do with their collection. I'm in a very unique situation where I'm a collector, but I also own my store. And, you know, I believe a normal collector who already has a complete Nintendo 64 collection would not buy their friend's nearly complete Nintendo 64 collection. So I'm very fortunate that I'm able to actually do that. And basically, I bought the collection for the store. I did not buy the collection to upgrade my stuff. That's just a byproduct of the actual process of going through and buying his collection, is that I get that little added benefit of upgrading condition on some of my stuff. And, you know, when a game gets traded into our store, I do the same thing. I compare it to mine. So I do upgrade condition often, but it's never a giant collection of stuff like this done all in one shot. It's a game here or there. So with the addition of the upgrades from Sam's collection, my Nintendo 64 collection is in much better shape than it was last week. And I was also able to add a bunch of posters, registration cards, baggies, precautions booklets, all that kind of stuff. And my goal of getting this 100% complete with all that stuff is a lot closer to reality. You can see, I think I still had games on this row, and maybe even the one below, that did not have baggies. And I've been able to get, I think I'm over halfway done with the baggies now. So I'm going to continue to work on that and just add other posters and registration cards when I come across them. But once again, huge shout out to Sam for not only being a very good friend of mine, but selling me his collection and, you know, allowing me to do this, because this is a lot of fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of what would normally be a like behind the scenes process of the way that I personally collect video games. And while it was a ton of work, I'm very happy I was able to do it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.